Hey, today we're going to try something a little bit different. We're going to do a little bit of web browsing and try and figure out a £1,000 PA and hopefully light rig for a 3 to 5 piece band. Let's give it a go. Let's see if it's possible. Right, straight in. And we're straight on to my favorite internet kind of buying site, I guess, and that's Foman. The reason why I like Foman for buying new gear especially is it comes with a 3-year warranty. There aren't a huge amount of sites that do this. It's a really, really good warranty as well. I've had great experience with it. So we're going to start with Foman. I think if you're in Europe, it's a great place to go, especially when you're on a really tight budget and you're going to be buying cheaper stuff that has a tendency to break or mess up. Having that warranty on you is a great place to start. So let's crack into Foman, and I guess the first thing we're going to want is a speaker, or 2 preferably. Preferably for our band, we will want 2 speakers. So I'm so used to clicking guitar and bass, I just did it straight away. Straight to PA. I think for this, let's go. I think we'll go active. I think there's a kind of worthwhile reason to go passive, but for this, we're going to try and go, just keep it active. I think it makes the most sense to keep it simple, especially when you've got this low budget. Well, like I said, maybe passive is a choice. Definitely want low to high. I think as well, worth grabbing, we want at least a 12-inch speaker. 12 to 15, I think, makes a huge amount of sense. Fun generation. Now, I've actually seen a few bands going out with these fun generation speakers. I would avoid them. I think anyone who puts wheels on a plastic cab at this sort of price point is just asking for mistakes. You know, they're just putting extra stuff on for no real reason. I would give a skip to fun generation. We're probably going to end up with the box speaker. But I don't think we want a wedge monitor type one. The fun generation, actually. Maybe there is an AK one. Who knows? Maybe if you know, let me know below. So, hitting some Behringers now. I think we want to spend a little bit more. I'm thinking probably page 3. I'm going to say, I think, well, that's maybe a little bit high, actually. Let's go back to page 2. Change my mind. I think we want to spend at least half our budget here on speakers. These DSP 112s, I've mentioned these before in one of my other videos about speakers. They are rebranded Behringer speakers. I think they're probably all right. If you want that kind of lighter plastic box, I think they're probably all right. The B-Hype 12s are meant to be pretty good as well, but that lower power rating kind of puts me off for this. Like with an actual drummer, I think I would need more power than that. I think this is the sweet spot. I said about these on my top 10 speakers, and I think these are the boys. These are the DSX 112s. We could have a look at the 115s. 115s might be an option. But these were the speakers I had in my head when I was thinking under £1,000 for everything. I was thinking these 2 speakers. They've got really, really great spec. Yeah, I think we'll probably go with these. But covers as well. Okay. Yeah, we might go with these. I'm going to keep these as an option. I think I saw the 15 there as well. Only kind of 38 quid more. If you aren't ever planning on getting subs and you want low end, the 15s could be a shout. 23.6 kg makes them a little bit less desirable in my books, but let's keep both of those for now. I think they're both could be options. We're talking about sort of 500 to 560 for those 2. That kind of gives us a good idea that we want to meet a similar price range with the rest of our gear. So we've got 2 speakers. What size top hats? This is something really important to look at if you are buying speakers. And check what size top hats they need. So that, or what size top hats they have. So that's your kind of thing that your speaker pole is going to go into. If you get the wrong size speaker pole, it's not going to fit the top hat. So these have a stand flange of 35mm. So the next thing we're going to look at is the stands. Now, I know a lot of these videos, people don't look at things like stands and covers like I talked about earlier. I just don't see the point. If you've got £1,000, you need a PA. Why wouldn't you be looking at the stands? You need stands. We probably will get a discount on 2, I'd have thought. These are the ones I would generally go for, although these look pretty great as well, but we're a bit more budgeted, so I'm going to go with these. These are the ES2211Bs. Come with a bag? Do they come with a bag? Excellent. Bag. 2 of them, 41 quid. Let's double check that top hat, 35mm, perfect. Right. Our first thing going in the bag is going to be 2 speaker stands, even though we haven't picked our speakers yet, but that will come. I'm sure that will come. But we've got our speaker stands. Yay! We just spend £950 more. Easy. Do that all the time. We got the speaker stands. We've pretty much sussed out our speakers. Let's have a look at the mixer next. I think that's going to be probably just as important. Now, there's a really good argument for going analog here. I think if you're in a small band and maybe using monitors, then maybe analog, you're going to get much better preamps than a cheap digital mixer. But for me, for my purchase, if I was going to buy this, I would be buying digital because it's probably going to give us enough outputs that we can safely run IEMs. And I think that a lot of bands now are running IEMs, so it's a digital mixer. Definitely a digital mixer for me. We want to search low to high. Oh, not high to low. That's way past our budget. No, low to high. The Flow8. I've talked about the Flow8 before. I think it's a great mixer, especially for kind of singles and duos and maybe a trio. I think a trio could possibly get away with it. But I want trio to 5-piece, so it's just a little bit small. It's got great functionality though. And for 189 is an absolute steal with the case. 189 and in a hard case. I could see people going for that. I don't think it's a bad choice, but I think where we really are is the UI12. This is one that I thought about when I thought about this challenge of getting it under that £1,000 bracket. The UI12 is great. You can interchange those headphones, so you can actually, I think you can get 4 aux outs out of this. So if you're a 5-piece band, you will either be sharing or you'll be, you know, you won't all have your own mix, but it's got a lot of flexibility. You've got at least 3 lots of mixing in there. You've got 8 standard inputs, 2 of which are guitar, which could be very useful. It's kind of got your USB in. I think it's got Bluetooth as well, possibly. Maybe not Bluetooth on this one. I think the Flow8's got Bluetooth. This one may not. But it has got USB. It's got RCA. You know, all your standard inputs and outputs. I'm adding it in. I'm done. I'd already visualized this mixer, and I think it is probably the one. We can have a look at some others though. See what the next step would be. These are a little bit too cheap. I don't know about this Live Track L6. I think it's really limited on ins and outs. XR16 is not a bad shout. I would possibly be swayed by an XR16 or an XR12. They're not a huge amount more. And then when I think we're getting too expensive. But I want to keep a bit of cash in my pocket, basically, is the main thing. Don't think that they give enough extra for the mix without needing to buy, you know, external routers and all stuff like that. We've actually used the UI12 quite a bit in my band, and the internal router's been surprisingly good. I see it show up on my, you know, Wi-Fi list more often than my expensive router that we run the QSC desk on. So yeah, I think the XR16 could be a good shout though. If you've got a little bit more cash you want to spend, an XR16 could be a good shout, but I feel like they're stopping a lot of the program stuff being updated on the XRs, and I think they might be disappearing. Maybe the UI is the same, but at least it's got that internal web-based program rather than an app. It's a little bit safer in my books for long-term, you know, keeping it well. We do want a case for it though. We want a case for it. Does it come with a case? Can you get... Oh, you can get a case. £40. It looks like a really nice case. I'm not going to spend £40 on it. That's quite a bit of my budget. I'm not going to spend £40 on the case. So, see what cases we can get. I think it's always worth getting a case. It's got a bit of multi-purposeness as well. That could be useful. I used to have this like really nice kind of bag that I fit my mixer in before. It was really, really useful. That's the old low to high, as is common on this video. For me, it's going to need to be a bit bigger than that. Feeling the UI was quite... That looks like a good size case. £15.90. Polyester with PVC coating, water repellent. That could be one. So this shape case is it's a bit too vertical, so you're going to end up stacking stuff on your mixer. Not keen on that. That's not bad. You could probably figure that out. I like these longer ones though. It would just be which one actually fits the mixer. And find out how big it is. 177 by 320 millimeters for the Americans out there. In a 177 by 320, that one can just make it. How much more is that one? This one's got to be bigger, isn't it? Ooh, removable inner compartment, which will fit it. So you can put your mixer in, and have a compartment off and put some other stuff on the other side, which will be useful for like the power adapter, which comes with these, maybe some extra cables. We're going to have some cables, so I think it's worth the extra couple quid. There's our mixer bag, cheaper than the fitted one, so, and it probably won't be padded or anything like that, but for the money, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. And then talking about that, we'll probably want some cables. Is that in PA? I don't think that is in PA. Oh, it is. Oh, well, that was in like a separate cable one. Microphone cables. For me, at this price range, I would still spend decent money on cables. I would get cordial or summer cables. If you can, maybe Van Dam. Van Dam make great cables. I would go low to high, obviously. I think we need at least 6 meter, just because depending where we're going to put the desk, having a little bit of length on your main 2 cables kind of makes huge sense. I don't really, that looks like it might be molded. I would get something decent, something with like a nitric end that looks good. Black, I like black cables with black ends. That kind of meets my, yeah, I'm cool with that. $14.30 a cable. It feels pricey, but these things last forever. I've got a few of these cordial cables that just keep going. Grab 2 of those. And that'll do it. 2 6-meter cables. And then we kind of have to make a decision on the speaker now. Now, my goal really was that we would get some lights in here as well. So it wouldn't just be speaker, PA, normal stuff. We would grab some lights and really kind of get a full setup. And I think I'm going to need some room for that. I think, you know, lights aren't cheap. But I think we go with the steady 12. I like the lighter weight. I like that it's a bit cheaper, but not much. I mean, that's pretty negligible. Pretty negligible at this price. But I think we're going to go for the 12s. Add them. I want those cases as well. Always case your gear. Well, why wouldn't you put it in a case? I mean, it's 30 quid, maybe. But why wouldn't you just stick it in there? I don't know if these are actually any good. Let's say water repellent. Probably not that water repellent, but you know, better in the rain than just nothing. Ooh, so we're at 9, 12, 40. I'd really like it to be 999. You know, just so we can say under £1,000. That would be the dream. But I don't know if it will be 999. Let's find out. I don't know if I can make that possible. I will, but I don't see how. We're going to want LEDs. If you've watched my video on lighting, then I actually talk about what type of LED we're looking for with these. I'm going to go for PARs. We just want multicolored LED PARs. We want RGBW or RGB LEDs. Don't want straight away. I thought it would come up with one like this. We don't really want these where they've got kind of a separate red, green and blue, because when they're on a specific color, you're only going to get a selection of lights like you can see in this picture here. We really want to be able to use the full light out of the unit. So yeah, avoid these free red, free green, free blue, free white. You're never going to get the power out of it. You're better off having something like this, which I've not seen these before. These possibly could have made the list for my lighting actually, because they're quite cheap. They're really cheap. These are pretty good, but these are literally £11.40 for a par 6. Par 6 3 watt. I did this fun generation earlier, but actually I think they do pretty good lights. Cheap lights, not the best lights, but for the money, pretty cool. Oh, I just saw something that USB-C connection for power. Different. But 6 3-watt RGB LED. Power consumption is 5 watts. So maybe they won't be that bright. But at £11.40, I can grab quite a few of these. I wonder, will you have to have some kind of like, what is it? Be like a USB input, auto, fade, and sound. I don't think it really matters for PARs. It does look nice to have lights chained up generally, but for PARs, I think it kind of matters a little bit less. It kind of looks good to have lots of different colors on the go, kind of like in this picture here. So just setting it on auto or to sound to light or something. Not a bad shout. Oh, and it does it. It comes with power. Probably just a really cheap USB-C, but actually I guess you could probably put a USB power bank on these if you needed them wireless, which would maybe make them a really good buy for kind of events people who want to put these out in wireless. You could probably just stick them in a box with a taper USB-C power bank to the bottom, and you've got a wireless LED for £11.40 plus a power bank. That is pretty useful actually. I think we can go for these. I think we can go for like 6 of these. I will bear in mind that they don't have any stand. So sometimes these come with like a double leg that you can spread apart and they'll stand by themselves, but these don't come with that. kind of two options there. Either get a piece of wood and just screw it down with a washer and paint the wood black or something. I used to do that when I was, you know, just starting out and I needed to light things for cheap. That kind of works quite well. The other option, and what I'm going to try and see if we can get in, because we've got a bit of budget left, I'm going to try and get some hooks to go on the speaker poles. That way you can shoot it back at your band members, maybe on mic poles, any pole kind of going. 5mm. Boom. Cheaper one. That's not too bad though. 550 is that? They're rated for 75 kilos. For some reason, I don't think these lights are going to be 75 kilos. I reckon they're going to be quite a bit less than 75 kilos. They are stainless steel, which is a little bit ugly. They'll do the job. They'll do the job. How many of those can we get? 2. Ooh, so we got 2. I reckon you can possibly figure out how to get 2 lights on each of those with like a kind of a tube in the middle or a bolt through the middle. You can probably get that kind of set up so you got 2 on each speaker stand. Maybe stick one on the top with a cable tie, something like that. You'll figure it out. We're all pretty ingenious with that. I think we got a pretty. Oh wait. 3. 4? No, I can do maths. That's not going to work. Oh, broke it. Let's go back. We got 3. You got 3, an extra clamp just because, you know, you might want that, maybe. So let's have a look at what we got. We've got our 2 speaker stands. We've got our UI12. I've got a video about other mixers. If you would want something a bit bigger, maybe you've got a bit more budget, go check out that video. It's worth looking at. Got a nice case to put it in. Always need a case. Keep everything neat and tidy. You've got your 2 cordial leads. The DSX 112, 2 of those with the covers. 6 bars, which is an absolute bargain. And 3 clamps. So there we have it. A pretty solid PA for £1,000. I think I'd quite happily take a 3-piece out with that. I think you could squeeze a 4-piece. You would be looking at everyone bringing their own monitoring, obviously. Hopefully they would bring their own IEM setup, which would be more than easy to do with that desk. I've got a video on how to do that. I'm going to put it, scooch over. I'm going to put it just there, and I'll put the subscribe thing there. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.